looking at what we have, here, I think let me use another DXY. Okay. Okay.
Hello, sir.
I can hear you.
I have a question before we proceed.
Ask.
So I'm using XNext. I don't know. I was putting in limit orders, buy limit orders, sell limit orders, but when price gets to my level, it always rejects or it cancels. I want to know why.
Okay. One, Xness may not allow you trades on a volatile news day when you have a low account. You understand? Because when you have, if you have a news for that day, they share your capital into trade. You understand? Like before the
Yes,
news.
sir.
So it now make your account look as if it's small. So let's say you're trading a $50 account and you have a news by 1 p.m. At 1 p.m. they will make your account look like let's say $20. So if that stop loss for that trade, $20 cannot take it, it will not plug in. You understand?
Okay. This was not even
Yes.
on a news day. It wasn't on a news day. I was even trading.
Okay. Then if
It was
it's not on the news day, then it might be spread, or the I can't really that it might be spread, or the limit wasn't properly set. You understand? Or another thing again is your type of Xness. Because I've been using Xness for like, I think December made it like 4 years I've been using them. So they have like three type of accounts. They have zero spread, they have standard, and they have, I think, commission or something. So, and they are like they have pro.
the
Zero
standard
spread.
account.
Zero spread will plug in your trade, even if you are having exact exact amount of stop loss. You understand? So, but standard will not plug you in on that trade. You understand? Standard will not plug you in on that trade if you have exact amount for the stop loss. So what you can do situations like that is you put alert. When trade get to that place, you do manual. You enter and
Okay.
yes, you put your stop loss. Or another way to plug it in is if you want to enter from the like 1.092 something, you can decide to add up a little pip, like 2 or 3 pip, either before the price or after the price, depending on if you are buying or selling. Add it up and set your limit. You understand? And
Okay.
then watch it play out. You get, because
All right.
sometimes you might have spreads coming in and it will not get to your trade, and you see that true trade and price came to that place. Most time we want those sniper that will come social media and show everywhere that this sniper entry. So you now see that your trade will not be plugged in. So just add up 2 or 3 pips and try it and see if it persists. Then start up with the support. Then if it is from my
Customer.
link, if from my link that you register, then send me the complaint. Let me send to my account manager. Because if it's from my link, she will always she should be your account manager.
Okay.
Yeah. So I
Is
think
it MT4 you are using or MT5
on trading,
on Exynos?
the one I'm using,
Is it MT4 or MT5?
I'm using for
Okay.
but there's no
Is it
difference.
standard?
So yeah,
Is it
I'm using
standard?
both. I'm using standard and zero. I trade multiple
Okay,
accounts.
you have to. Okay.
I trade multiple accounts. So I use standard, I use zero, depending. There are trades that I don't trade like there are trades that I don't trade on this the other account. There are trades that I trade on the other account. Like if I have a trade of let's say up to 50 pip, I don't trade it on one of the accounts. I use the other account to trade it. You understand?
Okay.
So because I prefer trade of 20 pip SL more than 50 pip SL.
Okay.
So any other question?
No, sir.
Okay, so let's go to what we have for today. Looking at what we have here, something happened here. Something happened here. Wasn't clear on XSSUSD at all. Like it was deceptive. It wasn't clear at all. So, but look closely here, you will see that we have a weekly fair value gap that was traded into. I know a lot of people are looking at this, which is valid. Do you understand?
Break and retest, ba?
You're looking at this, which is valid. So, but I don't want to look at this. Why? Why I don't want to look at this is looking at the overall view. We are bearish. Do you understand? We are bearish because when you pick your fib, I think we did 50% or so. Understand? This is 50%. Price couldn't even close above 50%, and we had this drop. Do you understand? Now, even apart from that, if we should move from here, I expected this move to break here. You understand? I expected this move to break here, but no. Decided to drop. And I'll prefer, I may be very, very wrong, but I want to hit my SL first before I change my bias. I'm looking at this as a draw on liquidity. Do you understand? Equal low. This can serve as two things. It serves as the draw on liquidity, and it also serves as what is it called? Reversal pattern.
Yes.
Yes. Equal
Hammer,
low.
ba?
Yeah, not even hammer. Equal low. This equal low. It serves as draw on liquidity and also serves as what is it called? Draw on liquidity. So you might have price do like this. Clear. It's either I want price to do like this and move up, or price do like this, clear this low and move up. Just like what we have here. Look at what price did. Price took out this low and reversed. So we might have price taking out this low for the whole of January, and then coming back to this fair value gap. You understand? So, but for the whole of January, I want to be a buyer in XSSUSD. Unless otherwise, I want to be a buyer for the whole of January. You get? So on the week, we have, will I say, two-sided coin. So most of the time when I have situations like this, I don't like staying on one side. I like reacting on two sides because I know that one will be right, one will be wrong. Than saying I want to be on one side and the side that I am, will I say, is the wrong part. You get? And you see where market is leaving you. Because looking at this again, for what is it called? for a valid setup, if you understand liquidity endorsement, for a valid setup, you're supposed to have an internal high before the POY. Understand? Supposed to have an internal high or internal low before the POY, which might be this, because you have this as a very valid break of structure. Looking from below, from here, this is as a valid break of structure, and this might be the high we have before we, like the high that was supposed to be taken out before they move up. You understand? So, but whatever be the case, looking at I think on 1 hour, is it 1 hour? Yeah, 1 hour. I have this. I have this. This as BMS. A return to this level and we sell. Let's see if we can clear this and then let the market decide. Why am I not looking at the buy? Look at what we had here. This is the swing high we have here. This is just pure structure. But look at what price is doing around there. They're supposed to give me something like this and close for the week, right? Supposed to give me candle with a good body as a swing high is being taken out. Do you understand? But it didn't. So I'll prefer to be on the sell side first and be wrong. And after that, I can now switch my bias. You understand? Because we traded into a weekly fair value gap and we got that displacement. So it's a displacement that I won't ignore. Do you understand? It's a displacement I will not ignore. I would like to react on it. The displacement I will not ignore, because looking at Euro USD, at the cost of the class, if you have question, ask. So just interrupt me and ask. I will always answer. Looking at Euro USD, they covered the footprint. They didn't show it. Look at, they didn't show it at all. Here we don't have any fair value gap. Over there we have. You understand? Coming to daily was a little bit clear, because on the daily I consider this as a valid break of structure. Consider this as a valid break of structure, because I think I posted something like that on months ago on the free group. I said this should be the drawn liquidity. You understand? That time price was still around this region or so. So I said this is the drawn. So we might have something like this. Might have something like this. Or even these people can be very useless. Sorry, sorry for using that one. They can decide to do, and they can decide to do this. And decide to go deep to this region. And now go up. Understand? And let's at least clear this thing. So, but in clearing this thing, I'll be very careful with this region. You understand? So, but even if this is supposed to hold price, look at what it did here. It didn't even, it closed as an indecision, telling that both the buyers and sellers are still struggling for direction. You understand? So Looking at 1 hour. 1 hour is not really that clear. Here, 1 hour might decide to do this kind of clearing of this liquidity. Declare this, have a deeper retracement to something like this, and give you this, give you this, give you this, something like this, and understand. If you watch, but for you to filter this, you need to go move with your DXY. You understand? For a better better view. I think on Euro USD it was brighter. See, it was better on Euro USD. I'll say Euro USD. Let me look for another that I didn't join anything on. Okay, look at here. We'll see here giving more of a clear setup. This is 1 hour break of market structure. You understand? Though there are other things I use as my signature for my entry. Whereas those are not, I can't really say all of them on free Zoom. So, but for the week, I'm looking at buying. But we might still have situations where they will decide to go for a deeper retracement, which are that's the only two things I can do. A deeper retracement to this place. Then if they violate here, then we sell. Simple. We sell. They decide to violate here. So, but this kind of setup looks so clean for them to give it to you. You understand? It looks so clean. So this is just like break of market structure. This is looking at 4 hours, you could still see that we are bullish. Understand? This is break of market structure. This high was taken out and then returned to other block of fair value gap. Get here. So instead of waiting for this and miss this move, let me hit stop loss here and enter here. You understand this scenario? Are you guys following?
As in you will
Yes,
sell
sir.
down.
Huh?
As in you will sell to that place.
You said?
So you said instead of missing it, you rather hit stop loss. Is it that as in you will sell to that place or what?
No. I prefer to buy here
Okay.
than saying I want to buy here and miss the move. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because they might decide not to even give you this. Because this is triple bottom, reversal pattern as well.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
They can decide to use this for the reversal because this is showing more of like, it can go to more of like a strong support here that they couldn't break. So they might decide to just, and look at how we had a very good rejection candle here. More of like, will I call it a pin bar or hammer? Get, and we went up. Looking at 1 hour, we had that break of market structure on 1 hour, which is more of like what we saw on DXY. You understand? So might have, looking at here as well, we have fair value gap here, which might be a drawn liquidity. Fair value gap, more of like institutional flow entry drill. You have fair value gap with an old low, the old high, sorry. So they might decide to come down for this and fly up. So you get a trade, for example, you get a trade here, at least you should be able to get like 100 to 200 pip and you close for the week. 140 pip is good for the week. 18. Around 1 is to 9 and 1 is to 8. You're done. Any question?
No question.
Okay. Okay. So is there another thing you want us to look at?
But if you are looking at buying GU, you seem to be looking at selling EU, right?
No, Nigeria and EU should go in the same direction now. XSS USD.
Sir, please go back to DXY.
Okay. Am I recording this thing?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes. Yes, sir.
I'm recording it.
Yes.
Okay, thank God. Should I go back to DXY?
Sir, the weekly time, this one, time frame.
Yeah, 1 week.
So this structure is, I see it as a break of structure and retest to other block. I don't know if, and there's a fair value gap there too.
This one, Abi?
Yes, break, retest. And look at this rejection candle.
It's very, very valid.
Rejection candle.
It's very, very valid though. But I wanted them to give this thing like this. How will you be returning to other block with small candle that is not healthy? Do you understand?
Yes, sir. I'm listening, sir.
Like I needed to see that momentum. Like that was why I didn't even trade NFP. I needed that NFP to give that huge move that people normally wished that they traded NFP. Do you understand? Like I needed NFP
Yes,
to violate this fair value gap. This fair value gap, I needed NFP to violate it. That was why I didn't even open charts throughout last week. I don't know if you understand. So, but I didn't see it.
Yes, sir.
The NFP, do you know what it means? The first NFP of the year? They blow now. Yes, but it was so silent. I don't think it did up to 200 people. So, but what the view you have is very valid. You understand? It's very, very valid. So, but now let me now ask you, where VIA 1 hour? VIA for the buy. If you want to do fib retracement, fine. Let's go like this. At least you'll be coming down to here, Abi.
Where, sir? Yes. That's 60.
No problem. No problem.
Or sir, look at bunch of liquidity. Look at bunch of liquidity below that 0.786.
.07. That's here.
Yeah. Yes.
Before you come here, let me just allow me, please. Let me write from here. Let me write from here to. Let me write from here to your place. Yeah.
All right, sir.
Please.
Yes,
No close door. No close door. I beg. Let me write. Let me write.
All right, sir.
Because I want to. Had it been they came to this place, I could have. I like that view because that was what I had initially. If you go down to my group, but looking at what the weekly gave, I want to follow the weekly time frame and be wrong before I will now switch. You understand? Because
Yes,
I
sir.
don't like what they did around this swing high. It's not proper. It's not proper. Look at just weeks. It's not proper. I didn't mean they gave. Okay, look at what we have here. Even as it's not that clear, even if it is not that clear, but you could see a full body candle below it. You understand? I didn't mean they
Yes,
just
sir.
swap same thing here. It would be more convenient for me to say I want to trade it. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Then looking
One
at
more question.
the monthly, let me show you something on the monthly. Looking at the monthly, what we have here, it's coming dicey. We had the drop here. We had almost 1 year ranging throughout, and we had a push up to the fair value gap and the drop again, creating a fair value gap, which that fair value gap might be valid if we take out this low. That's might have the moon drop down, close below this low, and then we'll now have the other moon coming up, more of like a retracement back to this fair value gap. If you watch, it's a type 2 fair value gap where we'll have fair value gap here, fair value gap here. Yeah. We might have
One
the
of
moon
the
institutional order flow entry drill. We might have the moon closing below this, then return back to here, and then drop, and then reach towards this place. This should be the final before we could now have a proper. Yes.
this breaker, ba?
Yes. Either this or this. These two areas.
Mitigation block.
Before we could now have a proper move to the upside. Because looking at this, we've not had a good up to 0.618 level retracement. Or let's say maybe 0.5. Let me check. Just shied away from 0.6. So whatever be the case. Whatever be the case. If you could remember what I said we'll have two probabilities to take.
Yeah.
Any more question?
Yes, sir. Okay. Sir, it's like you don't use zones, ba? ADC kind of zone. Seems like you don't use it, ba? Yes, sir.
On some occasion I do, but I don't draw them. I just use them to know what the market is saying. Looking at the zone, you could see that we had a good zone. We have a good zone here.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you. See, you could see we have a good
I can hear you now. I can see your screen now.
You see, we have a good zone here where we had the weekly fair value gap, and we saw the good rejection there. So we might still have to drop. Because looking at what we have here via price delivery algorithm, see how many weeks it took price to get to this place, and see how many weeks we are down. Is it telling you something? Is it telling you something?
Come again, sir. I didn't hear you, sir. The network is breaking.
See how many weeks it cost to get to this. See how many weeks it's taking us to drop. So it might be telling us that we'll have the sellers pressure.
Momentum, ba?
Yes, they're looking at here. You can see that price dipped into the weekly fair value gap and dropped. You see, price just dropped into it a little bit and dropped. So we might still have something like that. Drop.
Okay. Me, when I saw this hammer, I mean this rejection candle at this other block, I was saying maybe this one I just now buy be that.
This one.
And this hammer, yeah.
Yes. Now it could have present something like this. This is how it's supposed to be. This is how it's supposed to be. Supposed to give you something like this. When it comes to supply and demand, this is like a supply and demand situation. Supposed to give you something like this. From the drop, from the down. Do you understand? Supposed to give you something like this.
Yes, sir.
Just like what we have here. See what we have here now. It's not the same thing what we have here.
It engulfed it very well, man.
Yes. Yes. This engulfed it very well. Like, well, it'd be like more of like, what are you doing here? Get out. Get. But here we had one small, no, not really strong movement. It's more of concern. So I prefer to be wrong via the time frame. Like, let's say I prefer to, like, maybe let's say I wanted selling and like let me be wrong, then I will not change my bias. And then you can also use the news calendar to know the days you have momentum in the market. I think that should be Thursday, Friday.
Sir, does news
I can hear you. We have 1 minute remaining. No.
does news? Sir, someone was telling me that news respects structure most of the time. I don't know, based on
It
your
must.
experience, do you think how
It must respect you. It must respect structure.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it must. It can't go. It must respect it. The only thing it can do is if
Weak it, man.
it's even hard to weak it. Get, unless if it's a very bad news and it came out very bad, it will change the structure. You understand? And still retrace back and give you entry. That's why it's not always good to trade the news like important news. You understand? Like if it's the news, if it's the news that will, I'll call you. Come in 2 minutes time. Come in 2 minutes time. If it's a news that will change structure, you understand? You might see it's hard. It's not that easy to change that structure. Yeah. But it might still happen, but it will still give you, you will see that the news changed. Let's say maybe it was always positive. Just like that was why I said when you read about news, you know how to follow it. When you are following let's say this kind of news, interest rate, and you see that they will change interest rate in the next